Hi, hello. Welcome to another episode of Isaiah's Newsstand. It's your host, Isaiah Edwards. The date is December the 4th, 2023. Hopefully this episode finds you well, in good spirits and high hopes. As for me, I'm doing pretty good. I will say I got some bad news just to come up with right off the top. It looks like I might be getting sick again. It looks like I got another cold. I don't know. Having rotten luck this season. My throat feels a little scratchy, so if I'm a little offbeat, a little off kilter, that's probably why. But overall, today was a really good day, and I had a really good weekend, so I'm not complaining. I'll take it. I'm overall happy. Let's see. Food corner. I actually went out to eat, and I got some Chipotle. I got a steak burrito bowl with a tortilla in it. Pretty much like all the fixings outside of like maybe like some black beans, corn, and like guacamole. That's usually how I like to ride. The meats I switch up because I generally like all the meats from Chipotle. Even the sofritas is good. Obviously, it's tofu, but I enjoy that like a little half and half action. I remember I've dabbled with that. But yeah, no, that a side of hot sauce, which I'm salty that they skipped me with, but at the same time, I'm not salty about because I had it on my burrito anyway. And not to mention, like the next day I was blown out. I was, even though like I felt like I had done a good job of like preparing for this Chipotle order, it still got me. But that's just how it goes. So yeah, I mean that's me catching you up. Like I said, today's been pretty good overall. No complaints. Work was work. It is cold. I feel like it's cold for me. So, that kind of fits with, me getting sick, right? But yeah, let me go ahead and do my classic startup. That's right. I don't care about my throat. And then we'll get into some news. Okay. From Al Jazeera. From north to south, nowhere safe in Gaza, as 700 killed in 24 hours. Israel's war on Gaza is escalating, leaving death and devastation across the besieged strip. At least 700 Palestinians have been killed in the past 24 hours, one of the highest daily death tolls since the war began on October 7th. We've been, lightly talking about this on and off throughout, the weeks. But, since the truce has ended, Israel has really ramped up in a very heavy way. I mean, at this point now, the overall death toll is at 15,500 people who have been confirmed killed in Gaza since the start of the conflict. It's no signs of stopping. I know that, from Israel's top brass, IDF, they're saying, oh, well, we're doing the best we can to limit the civilian casualties. We're doing what the Americans are asking of us. And we know what the rest of, the international community is asking of us. I say America, but obviously they're just coming out and just saying, hey, please don't, hurt the civilians. We're getting bad PR for this. And, we want Biden to get elected again. But it doesn't seem like there's much teeth behind any of these words, sadly. And more or less what Israel is doing is saying, hey, we're putting out leaflets, we're dropping leaflets, and in these leaflets, it's showing you the safe zones in the south that you can be in. Though I heard initially that rollout was botched and essentially giving out bad intel. So it's like, imagine getting that and saying, well, I've been on the run since October 7th. I guess I'll just fucking go to this new area, and then you still get blown up. So, then not to mention they say, okay, we fixed it. And not to mention, oh, we've made this easier because you can go on your phone, you can look it up, you can scan a little QR code. And that sounds well and good if you're like, an American, someone from the West. I mean, shit, you can do your QR code, go to Agave and Rye and get the fucking menu and all that kind of shit. It's just so easy and cool. And so, like, clearly they're making it easy and effective for people to know where they can live and not die at. But how are you going to do that when you barely have any internet, if not no internet? You have no electricity. Your shit's powered by generators. The shit's running out of fuel. What are you going to do? Like it is left people in a situation where they are frozen with fear. What can you do? You want to roll the dice again and potentially die, or you want to stay here and die, where you have at least some kind of semblance of a life? You know, it's heartbreaking. It is heartbreaking to see this footage because people are still getting this information out as little as they can, as much as they can. But to just know that there's not a damn thing that you can do as a human being watching other human beings just struggle and die like this is so frustrating. And it's frustrating to know that there's people up top that are just okay with this, that can say and do something and have an effect. Like, you know, imagine if Joe Biden actually said some shit with his chest. You know what I mean? Actually put some weight behind this shit and said, hey, we're not going to fucking give you this fucking, you know, these F-16s, these fucking missiles that you fucking want. No, we're not going to fucking do that if that's what you're going to do. But, you know, of course we're not going to fucking see that action out of our fucking president. Probably any of our fucking presidents, period, up and down the line, sadly. But, you know, I mean, I've taken it as my fucking duty to kind of do commentary on the shit, talk about the shit. So that's where we are. That's where we're at with it. And I did feel like this update is relevant. 700 people gone in one fucking day. You know, don't fucking forget about that. Don't sweep that under the rug like fucking Genocide Joe wants you to, or fucking BB wants you to. Fuck that shit. But continuing on, from the Associated Press, 3 commercial ships hit by missiles in Houthi attack in Red Sea. U.S. warship downs 3 drones. Now, this shit hit like right before I was going on last episode, and I was like, let me let this shit cook, you know, and we'll see where we're at. And here we are. Ballistic missiles, fired by Yemen's Houthi rebels struck 3 commercial ships Sunday in the Red Sea, while a U.S. warship shot down 3 drones in self-defense during the hours-long assault, the U.S. military said. The Iranian-backed Houthis claimed 2 of the attacks. Excuse me. The strikes marked an escalation in a series of maritime attacks in the Mideast linked to the Israel-Hamas war, as multiple vessels found themselves in the crosshairs of a single Houthi assault for the first time in the conflict. The U.S. vowed to consider all appropriate responses in the wake of the attack, specifically calling out Iran after tensions have been high for years now over Tehran's rapidly advancing nuclear program. I love how we have this conversation of who's allowed to have nukes and who's not. Well, they're bad guys. They shouldn't have nukes. But then our allies can have like whatever kind of nukes they want. We're not worried about that. I know it's another conversation for another thing. Let's start from the top of these attacks. The attack began around 9:15 local time in Houthi-controlled Sana'a, Yemen's capital. Central Command said. The USS Carney, a Navy destroyer, which is also pictured in the thumbnail, detected a ballistic missile fired from Houthi-controlled areas of Yemen at the Bahamas-flagged bulk carrier Unity Explorer. The missile hit near the ship. Shortly afterwards, the Carney shot down a drone headed its way, although it's not clear if the destroyer was the target. About 30 minutes later, the Unity Explorer was hit by a missile while responding to its distress call. The Carney shot down another incoming drone. Let's see. The Unity Explorer sustained minor damage from the missile. 2 other commercial ships, the Panamanian flagged bulk carriers Number 9 and Sophie 2, were both struck by missiles. The Number 9 reported some damage, but no casualties. The Sophie 2 reported no significant damage. Let's see here. While sailing to assist Sophie 2 around 4:30 p.m., the Carney shot down another drone heading in its directions. The drones did no damage. Yeah, that's more or less where I want to leave it. I mean, we've kind of talked about this story multiple times in a way. It's becoming almost deja vu since, you know, shit started between Israel and Hamas. And, you know, this is just becoming like more and more common. And essentially they're saying, hey, the Houthis are saying, we are doing this because of the conflict. Until you guys stop the aggression, we are going to keep up the aggression. And then from the other side, they say, hey, none of these ships are related or in regards to any of this conflict. You guys are wrong about this. But then you go in through the details, and of course you see that this is linked to some, Israeli billionaire. So, it is the same story kind of repeated, just with different fancy fucking ship names. So yeah, I mean, obviously you can look at that, get more details there, but we'll go ahead and move along. I don't really have any more commentary to add other than what I've already said. We'll see if this continues, if it gets worse. I mean, this is happening on military bases. This is happening at sea. And I know that this is something that, like, all of these Western, leaders, especially, from the U.S. are like scrambling, chasing their tail, trying to fucking, corral and control and suppress and stop. But it's like, I mean, there would be an easy way to stop this shit. You could just, like, I don't know, tell the motherfuckers to stop. Just stop doing all this bombing. Stop doing this full fucking occupation shit. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just a guy. I'm just a guy in an armchair. Let's move on. Let's talk about some other shit. From the BBC. Ex-U.S. Ambassador Victor Manuel Rocha charged over spying for Cuba. A former U.S. diplomat who served as ambassador to Bolivia has been charged with working as an agent of the Cuban government for more than 40 years. Victor Manuel Rocha, 73, is accused of helping Cuba gather intelligence against the U.S. since 1981. Mr. Rocha referred to the U.S. as the enemy and claimed his work as a secret agent strengthened the revolution, according to court papers. It was not immediately clear if he had a lawyer to comment on his behalf. Let's see here. Attorney General Merrick Garland had some words. We'll kind of fast forward a bit, but over 40 years, Victor Manuel Rocha served as an agent of the Cuban government and sought out and obtained positions within the United States government that would provide him with access to non-public information and the ability to affect U.S. foreign policy. Let's see. Born in Colombia, Mr. Rocha was raised in New York City and obtained degrees from Harvard, Yale, and Georgetown. He worked as a U.S. ambassador to Bolivia from 1999 to 2002, according to prosecutors, and served in several government roles, including at the National Security Council for 25 years. They talk about Cuba's and the U.S. fraught relationships, Fidel Castro, embargoes, yada, yada, yada. I added the embargo part, but that's real. That's relevant. We did do that. We said, no, you guys can't make any money. No business, no trade. We want to just fucking choke you guys out from being communists. That's gross. That's icky. In our backyard? Let's see here. The court documents unsealed on Monday allege that Mr. Rocha made several trips to Cuba, where he helped to advance the interests of Cuban officials from 1981 to the present. The documents provide few details on the information Mr. Rocha allegedly shared, but outline the undercover FBI operation that led to his arrest. So, in November of 2022, an undercover FBI agent contacted Mr. Rocha via WhatsApp, claiming to be a representative of Cuban intelligence services delivering a message from your friends from Havana, the charging document stated. Okay, so this is an Isaiah's Newsstand little fun tip I'm going to give you. If you get a random message on a WhatsApp, don't answer it. Crazy cool tech. People maybe don't try it. Just don't answer it. Just ignore it. Just, delete it. I don't even know why you have a WhatsApp open unless you are down to be doing crimes and doing unseedy things. I don't know. I'm not a WhatsApp guy. I mean, granted, I know it's a form of communication in, other countries and places, yada, 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 whatever. But if you're getting a random text message, period, maybe don't fuck with it. I know you're an operative. Maybe you're on your fucking Revolver Ocelot shit and you're playing all sides so that you come out on top. But, like, if it's a random that you haven't seen before, I don't know. Maybe don't try it. Maybe don't play. But, Mr. Rocha did. He played the game. And he meets up with his agent. And he just gets to yapping. He just gets to just chatting. And he just starts telling all kinds of shit. I'll read a quote. let's see here, between him and the undercover FBI agent. I knew exactly how to do it, and obviously the Dirección, or Cuba's intelligence agency, accompanied me. It's a long process and it wasn't easy, Mr. Rocha allegedly told the FBI agent. He repeatedly described and celebrated his activity working as an agent for Cuban intelligence services. Let's see. Mr. Rocha allegedly used the term "we" to describe Cuba and himself and said he wanted to protect what we have done. Look, I get it. I'm not mad that this man is proud of his work. At the end of the day, spies are going to spy, baby. Like, at the end of the day, I'm never mad about spy shit. Espionage shit is just interesting to me. That's all it will always be. It always comes off as, like, novelty shit. Because, like, yeah, government secrets. People can live and die by these things. Blah, 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 blah. Well, guess what, man? That's the fucking game that all these fucking superpowers are playing. Like, us included, of course. We're, like, one of the biggest motherfuckers to do the shit. So, like, no, we cannot be mad that our own fucking shit gets compromised and infiltrated, and here we are having to pick up the fucking mess. You know what I mean? Maybe if we didn't do it so fucking much, it wouldn't happen to fucking us. So, no, I'm not mad. I'm also not really praising what Rocha has done. At the end of the day, you're getting your comeuppance, I guess, at 70 fucking 3, for being stupid, for essentially saying, you know what, man, we had such a fucking good run. Let me chat with this WhatsApp guy, this random guy who I guess is an op, but he's my op, I think, and I'm just gonna fucking just go into glory days mode. Dude, you deserve to get cooked. You deserve to fucking go to jail. Sorry, your golden years are gonna be behind bars, you fucking dummy. Just, I don't know, if you're gonna be a spy, fucking do better, man. Fucking goddamn. Neck Snake would never, dude. That's all I have to say about that. Okay, we have one more thing to cover, and then I'll let you go. Ooh, I'm snotty. I'm sorry. But you know what that means. I'm gonna take my break, and then we'll get into some news. We'll finish it out. We'll end it on, I don't want to say a bang. I feel like that's wrong. That's the wrong pun to use, but that's all that's coming to mind. I should probably say less of a bang, more of an eruption. But, you know. Excuse me. From Yahoo News. Indonesia's Mount Merapi volcano eruption leaves 11 dead. Leaves 11 dead and 12 missing. Here's the latest on the search for the missing climbers. At least 11 hikers were killed, and another 12 are missing after a volcano in Indonesia erupted on Sunday. Mount Merapi, located in West Sumatra, spewed thick clouds of ash reaching heights of 9,800 feet. At the time of the eruption, 75 mountaineers were climbing the volcano. Local officials confirmed that 52 of them were evacuated by West Sumatra's Search and Rescue Agency. On Monday, rescue efforts to locate those missing have been affected by smaller sporadic eruptions. However, Jody Hararan, a spokesperson for the rescue team, said the search was not brought to a halt. Once it was safer, they continued the search. Some of the 120 rescuers who have been involved in the search worked through Sunday night to locate missing hikers. At least 3 people were found alive near the volcanic crater after suffering severe burns. Pictures of the recovery operation show rescuers maneuvering through rough terrain, evacuating victims down the slopes of a volcano. I'm looking at a picture here of a bunch of rescuers just like holding up and carrying a hiker like on a stretcher, like down, I imagine, the slopes of the volcano. I mean, super crazy shit. Apparently, the threat level of this volcano is already high. It is since 2011, Mount Merapi has been at the 3rd highest alert of 4 levels, meaning locals and climbers are prohibited from traveling farther than 2 miles below the peak. But people have been saying, fuck that. We want to be brazy. We want to fucking get closer. We want to do our climb thing. And they picked a bad time. Shit went like full Dante's Peak. And if you know that reference, you know that reference. But yeah, couldn't be me. I would be very far away from a volcano personally, but that's just how I roll. I like to keep it safe. I like to keep it cozy and quiet. I like for my worst case scenario to be a cold that I catch, okay? Not hot boiling magma burns. I don't know. Is it magma or is it lava? I don't know at this point. Whose line is it anyway? All right, that's the episode. If you would like to support the effort, I do have a Patreon. You can chip in, help out. Patreon.com/Isaiah News. You do become a newsie. I shout you out at the top of the month. Say your name, plug a project if you'd like. Let's see. Free ways to hit me up. Send feedback. IsaiahNews1@gmail.com. Feel free to follow me or the podcast on any social you like. Let's see here. And then please subscribe to the YouTube. Thumbs up are always appreciated. Good comments are always appreciated. Please be nice, be kind, be helpful. Let's see here. Hopefully I see you soon for some more good news. I love ya. Bye. Mwah.